but the DMD is one of them, baby. And
Let's do it. You ready? The DMD.
baby. I mean, it feels good to talk about Britt in a winning light again. I'll be honest with you. I feel like Britt needs that arch nemesis to come out again because Thunder's got her own thing going now.
Yeah.
And I think that, reflecting back on all the journey Britt's had, she was a victim of not having a lot of people be able to hang with her.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
that might sound like, to me, it might sound like I'm being a Britt apologist, but I think that her title reign, she fell victim to the fact that AEW really didn't know how to build people or didn't have the right people in place to really give Britt a run for her money and make it like where she was getting tested.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
I think right now AEW has somebody like that. Toni Storm is showing that she can go toe-to-toe with Britt. I saw it on the promo on Rampage. You can tell that she has a peer, which is great. Britt needs that peer. Coming off of the fact that she was able to overcome the odds here and beat the Joker, not having the opportunity to prepare for her opponent. Again, it emphasizes that Britt's always one step ahead, dude. I mean, and she's always got a plan in her, like she's always able to overcome obstacles. And that's the Britt that I dig. A competitor that will do whatever it takes to win. She wasn't rattled. Maki Ito comes out dancing, singing, jumping up and down.
Flipping the bird.
Middle fingers everywhere, stomping on her foot, twisting on it, ouch. And Britt was able to overcome it. And I think what's great is Britt now is positioned to go against Toni next round. And This is what I predicted in my bracket. You predicted it in your bracket. We have different outcomes predicted, which is wild to me. Can't wait to talk to you about, who ends up winning this tournament. But SPD, my winner and your winner from this tournament are going to collide. Yeah. I have Toni Storm coming out, which is crazy to me as the DMD mark.
I know.
And you're picking DMD to win this whole thing. So one of our brackets is getting busted very soon. How did you feel about Britt Baker, your Owen Hart tournament winner? How did you feel about her going up against Maki Ito, who is one of your favorite talents? And truly, I know, tested Britt in a way that you haven't seen before. No, truthfully.
No, I thought
let's hear it. I honestly, I think it's hilarious because we all predicted something so different than Maki Ito as the Joker, and I thought it was funny. I'll be honest with you. I did laugh.
Funny. So, Maki Ito, I know is over with the crowd for a lot of reasons, and Britt and her had some good matches together. Yeah, she's just not necessarily my cup of tea. You got to kind of have to be in the mood for someone coming out singing and yelling. I don't know. Anyways, but the match itself, I think it told a good story, and like you said, going up someone not being able to prepare and all that. The DMD, she had no idea who's coming out, and she is my victor that I pick. And I think it would be, for the big story, would be pretty cool that you have DMD and Adam Cole that will potentially could win the tournament on both ends. So you have the power couple, then you can book that afterwards, unless there's some kind of undisputed elite, crosshairs that are going to be happening. You go that way, or you kind of revisit that power couple thing that they started for a little while that was working so good.
You're right.
But on your side, if you have Toni Storm win, then you're starting to help book. Thank you. You're starting to help book another star in the division, which is necessary and needed. But I think it's a win-win. It's one of those. I think we're on both sides of the tournament, men's and women's. I think we're seeing that some of the best matches are early on. The first round for men, especially, I think we're going to be getting, all those first round matches I thought were fantastic. And then moving forward, I'm not as excited for those closer matches, like Toni Storm versus Britt Baker. I think could be a finals match. If we get Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho rematch, or if we get Britt Baker versus Statlander, Like,
or
yes,
if we
it's going to be a
get
great match.
Toni Storm versus Ruby, which
I
think would be cool. But
that would be fresh and different. So that makes kind of more sense. But I would almost rather have the way this was built, Toni and Britt be a finals match. I think that would be more a better pay-per-view quality match.
I agree.
We're getting it on free TV.
That's why sometimes I wonder, like, it feels like AEW, there's a lot going on right now.
There is.
And it's like, this is one of those where it feels like you have a missed opportunity. Like, Britt versus Toni has been a
great build.
One
of the best builds in the women's division over the last few months.
I agree. I really agree with you. Say that again. That's an Instagram.
That's right.
Go ahead.
One of the best builds of a feud over the last few months in AEW has been Toni Storm versus Britt Baker. Totally agree. This should be a finals match, in my opinion, a pay-per-view quality match that we're getting on free TV next week on Dynamite. And it's going to tear the house down on a packed card.
I couldn't agree with you more. I feel like this build has been one that, again, presented, I said it, as a DMD mark. It gave us somebody who finally feels like a peer to Britt Baker, somebody who can stand up next to her as a star power and not wither in the light of Britt.
Mm-hmm.
Britt can get people shook with how she can go at people on the mic. And I've seen her throw daggers at other competitors that have really shook their confidence. Toni Storm doesn't look like her confidence is getting shaken by any stretch. And quite the opposite. I think that Toni is enjoying this banter with Britt, and I think it's bringing out the best in Britt again. Mm-hmm. Britt needs this, and I think that this is something that, like you said, they could have staged this to be the finals, and then when those two fought each other, it could have felt that much more important. After what happens between Britt and Toni, are you really more excited to see Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho or Chris Statlander?
No,
are you really more excited to see Toni Storm against? I mean, honestly, to me, this is the match.
Agree.
This is the match. I agree with you 100%. I do think that, like, removing my hurt feelings about the men's tournament, I do think that AEW has done a nice job on the men's side of potentially building to Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Which that could be a really cool story that could build up to. And they've hinted towards that already now, which is great. But I couldn't agree with you more on the women's tournament. It feels like if they just would have moved one of them over to the other side, we could have been talking about this tournament just a little bit differently.